Welcome everybody to the Broken Wing Racing League. This is the GT3 Sprint Championship, Season 18, Round 1 here at Silverstone. And we got a full house, 60 people, 60 drivers, and it's pretty stacked. As it stands, each division really brought a whole lot of numbers to this race, including the rookies, which didn't think it was even to be possible considering how many people are in the session that are already like returning drivers that have been a part of this for a long time. A lot of these drivers. Leaderboard kind of changed a little bit. So if anyone is curious about that, the div gap, the D gap there, that is just to the driver ahead that's in class. As the gap to a driver like P16 and 17, that doesn't matter. This is just based on their best lap as it is at the moment. It'll change when it goes to the race, as it will. Qualifying will be just like this as well, but that is what you're looking at there, is the gap between the same division. As it said, you can see a slight highlight there as Alex Zier is in P9, and then it jumps to Jeff Hedges. That is to signify, and now Nathan Hemperley, Jeff Hedges again. It kind of highlights there that who you're looking at is the driver that we're connected with on the leaderboard. You can also see on the bottom right as well, there's Trent Scheckelman there into the barrier. But let's take a look. We got a bunch of promotions to the pros, which is why there used to be a lot of pro-ams that are sitting in between that grouping there. But yeah, now you have a huge amount of pro-ams. It says 16 out of 20 out of the first 24, but what's after that? We got P26 here, Richard Swiderski, no drivers there. Rodrigo Theory is 17th, he's a pro. Dylan Thomas is not, but he's in Pro-Am. And I think that it's 17 pros, if my math's correctly. No, we don't. We actually have, I forgot, Prashant Jayaraman is our 60th driver on the grid, and he makes that 18. Joshua Justice ends it for the Pro-Ams with 16. 15 AM class drivers, and if that's that, then we have Todd Muirmore and 11 rookies. Jonathan Sclafani. Hope I'm saying that one correctly. Welcome to the league. Derek Doppler, Christian Judskins, some returning guys, Joe Ferraroni, Aaron Eckers. Welcome to the league. Brandon's still a rookie, but he's been around a bit. He's had his share. Same with Nathan Hemperley. He's also just parked on the side there. Not enough races done for him. Whoa, what was that? It's Joseph Chirac. He might be a returning driver. There's a lot of... I think I've seen some Josephs before. Well, welcome to the league. Andrew Simmons, not out because he's also returning. But welcome back. Oliver Brooks is now in this one. Let's take a look further up here. Head of the stands, Jeff Koffold has the fastest lap with a 157.591. Gage Hines is just behind, and that gap is 0.006. Quite marginal there. That's for the pros. You got P1 through P8 locked down. You know, what's great about the promotions that happen after the end of the season is that really shows you a lot of those pro-ams are pros. And there they are. Alex Zier now leads the pro-ams. Came in second in the pro-ams, I believe. Matthew Mercier in 12th for P2 in the pro-ams. And then just behind, in P17, the leading AM class driver of Andrew Korostecki, who's in 16th. Forrest Holland in P3 for the Pro-Ams. And you got Derek Doppler, who's in 20th for the rookies. Christian Judkins in 25th. And then Andrew Simmons down there in 33rd. Third in class. I have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in practice. Let's see if anyone is going to make any mistakes. Or you know what, better? Let's see what the liveries have changed to. And we'll just take over here. Nothing that interesting, I'd say, for these drivers here. It's just, you know, your basic racing schemes. Marshall Scari is now an Italian driver. Or another mix with the Mexico driver. I don't know, is that a Canadian flag there? No, that's just his number. Never mind. I don't know what that is. Jake Daly. Either or works. It's not really running a livery. I guess I'll give this a shakedown and refresh it just in case. Whoa. Mark Turek with a little wreck. Probably just no update here, but we'll see. Brian Zaborowski Jr. rejoins us. I don't think I see him in a couple races, but here he is. He's got a pretzel heart thing. Alright. Andrew Korostecki has his Prosciutto Punch Racing livery, and not even wearing the right decals. Shame, shame, shame. That is an admin in a server. Thunder Thighs Racing has a nice addition. Jacob Simmons with that gold tint to it. I like it. Gosh, there's too many people in the pit lane. Oh no. Joe Ferraroni is in the pits. Look at, hey, this guy's doing it right. We're in the AM class though. Well, you know, close enough, I'll say. Daryl Carrington rejoining us. Same set livery there for Prashant, except they are in the Pro-Am accents and they're pro. I don't think they got the message that they are updated. Scott Weber is out there, and he is now in the Pro-Ams. Was promoted. Draft Punk Gold. Elliot Burton in the Pro-Ams. He's out there. Same livery, but you can't knock perfection there. It's a really good livery there. Jeff Hedges. P8 in class. And no real surprising liveries, I'll say. And Craig Reese has the same one. Whoa! Joshua Justice. Take that back for 10 seconds. That is what happened to Max, except someone did it to him. You know, I won't forget, but they'll still be upset about it. Check out T3. Liveries are lined up for you. Oh, it was this nonsense, people. Alright, there we go. Valhalla. These guys know what they're doing. So, the reigning champ there, Mark Foley, using the same livery, but he did win the Pro. We're done. Qualifying's about to start, and a quick word from our sponsor. And we are back. 14 minutes, 23 seconds left in qualifying. Open qualifying with 60 drivers. It's a big enough track. Hopefully everyone is respectful. Now we're seeing the same amount of liveries, the same ones that you normally see, but oh, look at that. Chris Chitterling. Prism Racing. That's a pretty cool livery. Wow, that's actually really cool. I like it. Andrew Frank, Alex Zier, Andrew Korostecki, Mark Foley, Chris Lambeth. What is that? Is that a My Little Pony? I think so. Yeah, it's like, I think it's My Little Pony. So he's a brony. Yuck. Alright, well, the first odd one out there. Dylan Thomas. Not sporting the new updated Thunder Thighs livery. Eric Koonsman of Sparkle Farts. Oh, that's what they're called. Alright, that makes sense. Charles Whedon. Seth Hansen. No weeb for him. No anime chick. Not a whole lot of updated liveries for this this season. Look at that person just jumping the gun there. Who was that? Nick Mazza. Shake and Bake. And still some decent ones. Colin Pepper back with his Waffle House livery. Boris Holland in the Cars Racing. Draft Punk Silver. That's pretty cool. Ryan Chandler with a snake something. Yeah. Brandon Langlands has something interesting. I can't remember what that was, but oh, we still got guys all the way here at the back. There's 60 drivers out there, and it is looking... Ooh, look at that. Teammates, maybe. Alright. We are now ready to go for the first hot lap. Through cops, now maggots and Beckett's, pushes. Was the fastest driver in practice by .006 to the Gage Hines. That div gap is, this is still the practice session leaderboard. It doesn't update until new valid laps are set, and they're being set right now by almost every driver that has gone out already. Joe Ferroni out there. Faraoni, maybe? Maybe giving a slight toe here for Jeff. And getting out of the way. Well, that is bizarre. It's saying people are getting laps, but Jeff was the first one out. Well, they'll update. Looks like Chris Triddling is leading right now. Invalidate his last lap? And does this lap count? Jeff, it does not. That is unfortunate for him. Joshua Jablonski now leads this. Well, it must have been the valid laps, but he didn't set one. Chris Schilling in second, Peter Flander in third, Marshall Scary fourth, Mark Foley in fifth. Out of sync as well. Colin Pepper in sixth, Gage Hines is in seven, Alex Zier in eight, Christian Judkins in nine, Derek Doppler in 10, Korsecki 11, Matthew Mercier 12, Braden Daniels 13, Nick Mazza 14, Brendan Laughter 15, Daniel Haynes 16, Scott Weber 17, Joshua D 18, Matt Benson 19, Charles Whedon 20, Rodrigo Theory 21, Reagan Chandler 22, Trent Shuggleman 23, Richard Sweatersky 24, Eric Koonsman 25, Forrest Holland 26, Seth Hansen 27, Joseph Chirac in 28, Thomas Smith 29. Oh, and Jacob Simmons just takes the fastest lap there in P1. Thomas Smith 30 now, Craig Reese 31, Lars Hiles 32, Theo Nolasco in 34, as Jeff Koffeld now takes the fastest time in P1. Ryan Chandler in 35, Mark Turek in 36, Joshua Justice in 37, Aaron Eckers in 38, Todd Bielmer 39, Tyler Kern in 40, Daryl Carrington 41, Brendan Langland's 42. No one else has set a time on the board just yet, except Alex Sear has improved into 4th, underscore Stecki into 5th with an improvement, Mark Foley improves into 2nd, Eric Kunzman into 15th, Richard Sweatersky into 20th, Elliot Burton up into 12th as Braden Daniels goes into 10th, Dylan M. Thomas into 21st, now 22nd as Nick Mazza improves into 7th, Ben Laughter improving into 20th, and Joshua Jablonski now takes back 2nd from Mark Foley. As Forrest Holland improves into 17th, but now into 18th as Aiden Gertz goes into 17th. With that time across the board, Derek Doppler improves into 14th, Andrew Frank improves into 21st, Ryan Chandler improves into 24th, as Scott Weber also improves. Same with Chris Lampeth, who is 27th to 28th for them. Jason Daly into 30th now, Matthew Mercier 32nd, Matt Benson 34th, Brian Zaborowski Jr. into 33rd, with Aaron Eckers improving to 37th. Now we have 49 guys that have made times on the board. Reagan Chandler improves into 33rd, with Lars Tyus in 34th, also on an improvement lap. Nathan Hemperly into 27th. An improvement there. Eric Kunzman 26. Craig Carroll improves into 37th as well with that time of a 2:06. And we have 51 drivers. Tyler Kern at the back end of that with 51st in mind. I think I've said everyone. Craig Reese into 47th. I don't know if I said him. Austin J. McGill is out there with no time on the board. Andrew Fagan. Is that right? Yeah, Fagan. I got it right. Oliver Brooks, no time on the board, but he's sitting in the pits. Jeff Lubitsch has also not set a time. Neither has Joe Ferraroni. This is his 3rd lap out there. Prashant also 3 laps, no time on the board. Andrew Simmons 2 laps, no time on the board. Jeff Hedges 3 laps, no time on the board. And of the 60 drivers, 2 are sitting directly in the pits with no laps at all. Hopefully they get out there. Ben Laughter. 6 minutes left to go. I think they might just be starting from the back there. Ben Laughter into 19th with an improvement there. Matthew Mercier into 12th with an improvement. Jeff Koffeld still leading commandingly with that 157.7. Austin J. McGill didn't have a time on the board, but now he does. He's in 2nd. 4/10 off the leader. Colin Pepper improves into 11th. A rookie from the previous season. Now part of the pros, sitting 12th, whereas Christian Judskin has just gone into 11th. Reagan Chandler and Regan Chandler, 34th and 35th. Reagan in 35th there, with Ryan just ahead, but similar times. Must be using the same setup. Same livery, but it's slightly different. You see that's that neon greenish. Is that yellow? Like neon yellow? And this one's pink. It's more green than yellow? No, it's neon. Anyway. Andrew Simmons did get a time on the board. He goes into 55th with that. Thomas Smith into 51st. I don't know if Trent Sheckelman into 48th there. Matt Benson improves into 25th this time across the board. Oliver Brooks will have only 1 lap to go, maybe 2 if they go out now, but they're sitting in the pits. And Joe Ferraroni overtaken there by Chris Chitterling, and the slide there for, I want to say Joshua D. Nope, that was Austin McGill, maybe? Yeah, that was Austin McGill. Monitor issues. When I got back, it was working. There's no gap with 60 people on track. Ooh, that's unfortunate, Oliver. Hopefully you can do a last to first challenge. Brandon Langlands improves into 42nd as Theo Nolasco just takes 41st from him. Andrew Simmons now improves into 46th, no longer at the back of the pack there, which is now 56 drivers that have set times on the board. Todd Buellmore, 50th. Thomas Smith improves into 42nd, splitting Brandon Langlands and Theo Nolasco. Joseph Schrock into 37th. I'm not sure if I said him. Seth Hansen into 35th here. Craig Reese into 30th, as Craig Carroll goes 33rd. Charles Whedon into 31st. I'm not sure if I've said him before. Rodrigo Theory into 29th with its time, 159.4. Richard Sweaterski, 26. Alex Zier and Joshua Jablonski have opted to go in the pit, so they're P8 and 9. Watch them either stay where they're at or tumble down a little bit. That is the rookie leader in 9th. And Jeff Koffel still holding a commanding lead here in first. But Gage Hines has closed the gap. And he parks it. Valhalla 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment, which is just goes to show you the dominance these drivers have had even previous seasons, and they're always quick, but take all 4 of them. Not all 4. There's more Valhallas out there. Matt Benson's one of them. But yeah, that is a surprising turn of events. All 4 Valhallas, 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment with Jacob Simmons. Can he split those Valhallas? Where's that one guy who said he had a Weeb livery? I don't think I saw that one. Andrew Simmons, 44th. Brian Zaborowski Jr. improves into 39th at that time, with 1 minute 30 seconds left to go. That's pretty much all she wrote. Joe Ferraroni here, a rookie, trying his best. Still no time on the board. That's gotta be a real bummer. 5 laps. So yeah, 1 to go. We'll see. I don't even know where he's at. I think that's a... Pull up the track map again. Hanger straight. Pretty sure. Yep, because that's a little left-hander. Alright, he's in the club section. Yeah. So he probably won't have enough time to go 1 more lap, but maybe this will be his lap. Let's see, 56 drivers set times across the board. Hamilton straight. I really just want to see this, see if it's able to pull this off. Matthew Mercier improves into 7th. And so far, Jacob Simmons is the only driver that will be able to challenge the Valhalla drivers for P1 through 4, as he is still out there. Everyone else has kind of dropped out from the top 10, except Mark Foley, who's in 11th, and Peter Flanner in 12th. Colin Pepper as well, Nick Mazza, Ellie Burton. So the P11 to 15 are trying, but they are further back. Is this the moment we get Joe a time on the board? Yes, he goes to P54 with that time. An improvement from somebody else. We'll go over to Austin McGill, who's still out there. Now Jacob Simmons is in the pits. Mark Foley might be the last driver, as Peter Flanner has opted to go in. Nick Mazza is out there, but he's in 14th. Mark Foley's in 11th. Can these guys challenge? He's got a 7/10 gap to the leader at the moment with the time. Going to find 7/10 across Silverstone. Not sure where he's going to find it, but I think we might see it. Alex Zier, Joshua Jablonski, they only dropped 1 position each. and they called it quits with 4 minutes to go. So I think it's pretty cemented there. Matthew Mercier did catch Alex Zier, though, with that P7. He's got to find something here. His best lap was a 158.4. And where is Nick here? Is this enough for something, an improvement? No, it is not. No one's improving their lap or position at the moment. There's only a few drivers out there still on track. And there goes Mark Foley. Aiden's in the pits. And Joe is also dropping out here. And that is it. 57 drivers qualified. Jeff Lubitsch, Oliver Brooks, and Jonathan Sclafani unable to do it. Valhalla secure the 1, 2, 3, and 4. Massive, massive upset there. Can't wait to see what they do in the race. Hopefully they race each other extremely hard. Leaders in class. Jeff Koffold in first. Matthew Mercier for the Pro-Ams in 7th in the overall, first in class. Derek Doppler, 10th in the overall, first in class. And then Andrew Korstecki for the AM class, all the way down into 17th, but leading the AMs with a significant margin to the other AM class drivers. That is impressive. Now, that div gap is going to be a little bit updated once we get into the race. At the moment, it is just showing you the gap to the fastest lap, fastest lap, whatever. Anyway, the grid. P1 through 25, you can see on the board, we got 60 drivers to go through, so I'm just going to try to get through this as quickly as I can. Craig Reese is P26. Congratulations to who you can see on P1 through 25. They're all out there. There's 17 pro drivers, 15 or 16 Pro-Ams, 11 rookies, and I can't remember the AM class. I think it's 11 or 12? Anyway. Roderick Theory is P27, Jason Daly 28, Scott Webber 29, Tyler Kern 30, Richard Swiderski in 31. It was 12 drivers, I think. Or no, it's probably more than that. Matt Benson 32, Seth Hansen 33, Charles Whedon 34, Andrew Frank 35, Craig Carroll. So there's 15 AM class drivers. Jesus. Craig Carroll 36, Forrest Holland 37, Trent Schickelman 38, Brian Zaborowski Jr. 39, Joseph Schrock in 40. Ryan Chandler, 41. Reagan Chandler, 42. Nathan Hemperly, 43. Andrew Simmons, 44. Theo Nolasco, 45. Thomas Smith, 46. Lars Sayos, 47. Brandon Langlands, 48. Prashant Jayaraman in 49. Joe Ferraroni in 50. Aaron Akers, 51. Mark Turek, 52. Todd Bielmore, 53. Andrew Fagan in 54. Jeff Havage, 55. Daryl Carrington, 56. Joshua Justice, 57, Jeff Lubitsch, 58, Oliver Brooks, 59, and Jonathan Sclafani in 60. That is a lot of drivers. All right. Whoa. Oh, sorry. Wrong button, everybody. Close to the right button. Here we go. Lap 1 will be courtesy of the pro champ, Mark Foley, sitting 11th in the overall, 8th in class. And they are basically off. And there's Mark Foley already spinning. Oh, that's unfortunate. Right there out of left field, or Woodcote, if you want to call him. Yikes. And how could he even back that one up? That is a rough start for Mark Foley, or it's dropping down the order, of course. And you got too wide through some of these sections here, and it's looking pretty clean so far as the Valhalla drivers are just driving away with this already, and still fairly good. And it's like a too wide there for the Draft Punk and Shake and Bake. That's Nick Mazza and Peter Flanner. Elliot Burton, his teammate, probably trying to join the fight there. It's just right behind there, as it still looks fairly clean from most of this order, as they're now through cops. And one driver went off there. It's crazy. You think there would be more incidents, but this looks like a pretty solid snake there. And that is Marshall Scarry trying to battle it out there with Alex Zier, I believe. Significant gains for Braden Danielson, Aiden Gertz, 3 spots. Matthew Mercier already down 3. And the Valhalla drivers really pulling away, but one of those drivers, Daniel Haynes, did get overtaken by Jacob Simmons there. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 is now just a 1, 2, 3 as they are pushing across the line on lap 2. Here we go. Let's take a look here. It is pretty solid out the gate. P3 is shortly behind, followed by Jacob Simmons, who's got about a little bit of time there, though. Josh Jablonski takes a shot on Alex Zier and takes a spot from him away. What the? Reagan and Ryan Chandler looked like he had a slowdown penalty there, as they are holding 3 spots up, and then they got Lars Tiles and Tom Smith right behind them. Those are teammates, and they're trying to get some spots going here. Take a look here. Craig Reese is also back. It's 23 spots down. Not sure what happened there. It's Mark Foley is at the latter end there with 45 spots gone. Brian Zaborowski Jr. is 18 down. Scott Weber's 29. So some stuff must have happened, but not a whole lot. Alright, Jason Daly. Scott Eric Koonsman just had 1/10. Is he going to make a move here down the inside? They go side by side. It's not quite said and done here. I think he still sits in. And look at these two teammates are sandwiching Jason Daly. That's Chris Lambeth right behind in that My Little Pony livery. Followed by Rodrigo Theory in P26, just behind. Further back, Charles Whedon has Richard Swiderski just ahead. 4/10 gap there. Matt Benson's also up 3, another Valhalla driver. Colin Pepper and Peter Flanner side by side. Is it going to go to Peter Flanner to gain a spot here? Yes, it is. He goes through. And Nick Mazza also trying to make a move on the outside. Not able to really capitalize on that just there. But probably would think about it as they go down the start straight finish. All right. Okay. Looks like Forrest Holland's trying to make a move here on Seth Hansen as it goes side by side. Down what I think is the hanger straight. And let's take a righty into Stowe, then I'll know for sure. Yeah, sweet. Great move for Forrest Holland. That's up 5 spots from where he started this race. I guess the big name here is Andrew Simmons. He's up 7 so far, and so is Lars Tyhouse, who I think just made a move there. Or Nathan Hemperly is in this fight. Pretty much everyone here towards the back is doing pretty well in hand. Joshua Justice is up 8. And he's chasing down Todd Buellmore. I say that was 8 spots gained, but Ryan Chandler just took one away from Andrew Simmons there. And now Regan Chandler is just behind, trying to make a move and take a spot. This would be for 38 and very, very well spaced. Right. Prashant Jayaraman is up 5 spots where he started. He's in 44th. Got Brandon Langland's just ahead of him. Can he make a spot? That's a Fallout livery. That's pretty cool. Just behind. Oh, that wasn't just behind Prashant. That was Joe Baroni and Aaron Akers who were battling out there a little bit. And Joe's up 5 from where he started. And Craig Reese. Can he make a spot? Down the hanger straight. He's going to have that inside line into Stowe. And probably have this one nailed down. But we'll see as Joe goes to the inside. And now it looks like Aaron Akers still had... Oh, no, slotted it behind. And... Yep. Craig Reese solidified that spot there. As Prashant and Brandon Langlands were battling. And Prashant finally got through. Mark Foley, who Maggots and Beckett's not going to be able to make up a spot here. Maybe he can. Was that it? Nope. That wasn't the corner I thought it was. Anyway, Mark Foley does get the move down on Joshua Justice. On one of these straights. The Wellington straight? I don't know. This track looks... we can never get it down. Such a bummer to start the race, just spinning off the that right-hander right here. Big Daddy JU34, thank you for the follow. Also, WM Simsport earlier when we weren't live, thank you also for the follow. What's happening at the top of the pack here? Well, I'll show you. Jeff Koffold is leading still over Gage Hines and Austin J. McGill. Jacob Simmons has a little party of Daniel Haynes behind him and Chris Chitterling, who's got a really lovely livery. Look at, I mean, if we get close to it, it has a really intricate design there on the left side. Nice. Prism Racing. Cool. Oh, those two going side by side. And one just got hit. Alright, let's take a look back here. They had some mistakes. Beyond that, though, then you have your 20 onward, it's Pro-Ams. And you get to the back of the pack, and then you got your rookies again. And some AM class drivers. Whoa. Who's that? Let's take a look at how this happened. All by himself. The chopper cam. Oh, yep. He beached. I think he just wanted to get out there. All right. These three still holding it. Mark Foley, at the start of this race, let's take a look exactly how this happened. He does go side by side here, and then does he get on the curb? He's already losing it when power's going down, so that's unfortunate. Look at Gyro here. Was he on the throttle? Yeah. Oh, he did go off of it, thinking he might have was going to hit that car ahead of him. Yeah, won't do it. And then Joe here. Oh, he's so... I can't even see it. My bad. Craig Reese. Got a Draft Punk Silver sandwich. That is... It's on the outside. There's not much room more, but, you know, that's how he dropped back. And then Brian Zaborowski Jr. just on his own. Good avoidance there from Reagan Chandler. I believe it's Reagan, maybe Ryan, but, you know. And Scott Weber, at the same time, also had an incident. You could see the spin behind, and then he just messed up that one. Oh, he's actually parking it, I think. And Theo Nolasco on lap 3. Brandon Langland giving Theo the old scooted booty there. That's unfortunate. And then Jonathan Sclafani. Just curb, Porsche stuff. Yeah. Take another look at that. All on his own. And added some brake there. It was going to help. And good avoidance for everyone else around. Todd Buellmore on lap 4. Also had his own oof. And that's Mark Foley. Didn't need more damage there. And what does it say on the back there? Something about his head. Anyway. Trent Scheckelman. Oh, yeah. Big curb. Big sausage curb. Rode that thing. And Dylan M. Thomas with a spin. Hey, the pits are open. And that was lap 5. Joshua Justice on lap 6. Oh, that is not his fault. I don't think. I don't know who this is that... oh. Yeah. Andrew Fagan. That was Andrew Fagan that collided. Look at... It's PTSD for me every time I see a car go off into turn 1. Todd's just off again. Prashant Jayaraman. And that's a snap. Turn 1. Cops. Unfortunate. Theo Nolasco on lap 7. Little spin there. Nathan Hemperly. Not bad, all things considered. Mark Turek. Still on lap 7. A lot of spins. Brandon Langlands. Fall Out Boy. There he is. Just a little spin there. Jonathan Sclafani again spinning. Just trying to get it back on track. Lap 9. And then Nathan Hemperly again with another spin. Sort of spin. Hey, spinning in the pits. No change in the top of the order, though, as Braden Daniels, still at 5 spots, has Matthew Mercier just ahead of him. No one's pit just yet, except one driver did, Mark Foley. He's out at a 45.2. 23 laps. It's possible, yeah, that he's just going to go to the end here. Definitely got a fast repair in because that right front is all good as new. Joshua Justice pit on lap 6, Todd Beelmore on lap 4. Yeah, it's going to be those guys coming back. 2 disconnects, unfortunately. Black and white flag for Lars Tiehaus here. Still not completely served. And there it goes. Andrew Frank is now in the pits. So he'll tumble down the order there. Peter Flanner is gone. Okay. There's some good margins in this race, but ultimately, everyone's kind of settled in. They're close, but no real moments I'm seeing here. Charles Whedon is catching Matt Benson ever so closely here. It's a 3/10 gap. Most of these gaps are around the circuit so far are in that range of the drivers that still remain. We have 50. Actually, we had 60. We lost one. That's Jeff Lubitsch. We lost the Canadian. Now, off with his head, I say, as Charles Whedon goes into the pits. Craig Reese now going side by side here with Trent Scheckelman, and is going to get a spot down there, and now is up into 37th. There's only 11 spots from where he started this race, and that's a good recovery so far. Ben Laughter up 4, Jason Daly behind, 8/10 back, up 8. With Christian Judkins. No change in the order with these ones. Further up, you have Aiden Gertz. He's up 4 spots here, and you've got Andrew Korsecki ahead of him. He's made some moves because I don't think he was ahead of Joshua D a while ago. He's up in the 15th. Now look at that. A testament to the driver, Andrew Korsecki. He's got speed. Hopefully he has the consistency here, as he is doing fairly strong at 2:13 over the drivers behind him. All pro drivers, and they're still behind him. Marshall Scarry was the fastest of the 4, but he's sitting in 17th, and he hasn't been able to pass Joshua G just yet, so We'll have to stay tuned to this one. Rather impressive for this one, this driver. Up higher in the leaderboard here, we have Chris Schitterling. We're still behind Jacob Simmons, and they're about to pass Peter Flanner, who's out there on an outlap. I can only imagine that Peter Flanner had a disconnect of some sort, because he's a lap down now, and he's out of the pits. He was there for 3 minutes and 33 seconds, so some type of Andrew Fagan is towing as well. And we have a black flag here for Andrew Simmons. Too many incidents. Oh. Wait, who was that? Oh man, that is rough. Okay, so somebody's dropping down this order. And that would be Todd Buellmore. Oh. Okay, so he wasn't the one that... He gets a move done on somebody, but there's... This is going to be Charles Whedon, who has a spin. And then he goes. Oh, Charles. And that person drove forward. Who was that? Oh no, that was. It's already done. Theo Nolasco, he did not deserve that one, and you know, that is a bummer. The rejoin was not ideal on the apex there, but you did get, I mean, the first rejoin is what caused the second rejoin incident. I mean, it's just when it rains, it pours, especially when you're on the receiving end of the bad rejoin in the first one, and then you do the rejoin and cause another incident, and then it's just... Dang. Is the Valhalla dominance going to bore fans? I mean, right now they are still sitting with the 1-2-3 and not 1-2-3-4. R.I.P. to Daniel Haynes there. He didn't really... I don't know how much... I'd love to know what the protest is going to look like, what the stewards are going to say, because he was on the inside. They were side by side, but that is a weird... It's that loop, right? The middle section where it's like, it's a slow corner. Anyway, Joshua D. Putting some pressure here on Aiden Gertz just ahead of him. Andrew Korostecki blinks for a second. You miss him, but still doing fairly strong. He's still ahead of these three drivers. Now he's in the 159.06, and he's got these guys ahead. And there we have two going in. Joshua D stays out. Aiden Gertz, Marshall Scari. We'll see how that pans out for them, as Joshua D is P17 at the moment. What happened? He'll move up a bunch, but we'll see how this all works out. Jeff is in the pits as well. Jeff is going to be... Gage... Jeff is out. I need a better view than that. So he beats Gage Heinz. 44-9, too. Wow. And they jump back out, and they're battling it out here with... Sorry, Austin McGill is the one that beat all three of the three, is ahead. He did a 43.5. Now that's the difference it makes to win a race here. And the Valhallas have The Draft Punk Silver splitting up their 1, 2, 3 at the moment, but it's not going to matter much. These guys have to go into the pit lane. But at the moment, it's just going to put a little damper on Gage trying to, you know, pull back these two drivers that are his compatriots. Braden Daniels has Matthew Mercier just briefly ahead of him at 4/10. Look at the order. I mean, all those pit outs. That is the, that's a shake-up there. You can't trust any of those gained and lost positions at the moment because it'll change in just a little bit. The real difference these two Draft Punk Silvers are making, though, for the 1, 2, 3 is that they're getting slightly away. That's a 1.6 second gap here. And now he's going to pass the guy naturally, but both those drivers are going in already. But now he's still got this gap that was formed from being behind. Oof, a little too much curb there for Austin J. McGill to unsettle the left side of his car. And now he's got Jeff Koffold, who may or may not be faster. Fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. Is he fastest in the race? Not at the moment, as Austin J. McGill decided to underfuel ever so much. Now, can he take it to the end and still win this over his teammates? His sister teammates. We don't even know if they're on the same team. I know only two of them can be on one team. They're all probably in the same call, I imagine, just keeping cool. And that 1.6 is now 1.2. It is in the braking zone, but he is really pulling them in. Gage Hines trying to get back to this fight. And I mean, I kind of hope that they don't let us down. Valhalla has been known to go a little ham towards each other just for the entertainment factor. I think it was Daniel Haynes and maybe Gage Hines in the Endurance Championship who went side by side and just hit each other into turn 1 at Fuji. That was exciting. They didn't kill either one of them, but they're playing by NASCAR rules a little bit, and it was fun. 1.6, now 1.1, and he is getting closer as they approach one blue flag just up ahead. Colin Pepper is out there with a 45.3. Got Alex Sear just ahead of him. Now Alex Sear's leading the Pro-Ams. It's great points either way. Overall position matters than class position. It matters more, so he won't want to give up any spot. But Colin Pepper is there. It's right behind him. Arguably faster on that last lap. By about 3/10. We'll see across the line how this pans out with this lap. Oh, it was an out lap, so. Maybe it'll happen here. And look at that. You blink and it's gone. You missed it. Gage Hines has now crawled back all that space that he lost. The Draft Punk Silvers splitting them up. Now Valhalla are back to the 1, 2, 3 with only 2/10 separating these drivers. And one of them is not like the other, and that is Austin J. McGill there in that Ford Mustang against two Mercedes. Something we won't see in the F1 category anytime soon is a Ford Red Bull powertrain being ahead of a Mercedes. But we'll see it here. Ooh, Eric Koonsman with a little spin. How did this work out, by the way? Of the 3 pro drivers that were behind Andrew Korstecki, only one of them was able to make it by Andrew Korstecki post pit stops. Both hit on lap 15 as well. And there's the reason. He did a 44.8 and Andrew Korstecki did a 46.9. But even with that, Marshall Scarry and Aiden Gertz did a 45.8 and a 46.2. They didn't jump Andrew Korstecki. So when they pit a lap earlier, it didn't work. It's a bit shocking, but to see the top 15, all 4 leaders of each class are in the top 15. Andrew Korstecki is 14th. I mean, that is impressive. It's happened before, but I mean, we have seen it in the top 10. It's still impressive, especially when you have a full grid of 60 drivers. Of the 60, we've had a significant amount of retirements. We have 53 drivers remaining. About as good as it gets there. Joshua Jablonski is down 25 spots. Wonder what happened to this driver, as he is pressuring Regan Chandler there, and he's going to get the move done. Joshua Jablonski isn't one to wait for an opportunity, just going for it, and there it is. Ooh. It's a spin there for Andrew Frank. It's going to get that back on track. Nick Mazza is leading pretty strongly over Braden Daniels. I don't know if Braden's going to try to make a move here. And this is what it was for Joshua Jablonski. Whoa! He had a stop and hold for 1 minute and 30. And that's why he dropped down the order. Craig Reese here with a black flag. And it's probably just going to be an off-track scenario. Yep. Too many off-tracks. Elliot Burton getting in the mix here. Not sure where he popped up from, but there he is. Take a look further back. Zooms on through Braden Daniels. And Andrew Frank here making a move on Craig Carroll. Yeah, he was in the wide. Got it done though. Look at that. Austin J. McGill now back in third, and these two are running away with it. Jeff Koffold and Gage Hines are doing a little shake and bake. How did that happen? Here we go. Battle for P1. On lap 18 as well. Now we're on lap 20. Oh. Did he just have a... Well, it's not going to show us because this isn't live. Or we might have had a slowdown. Well, I think Austin, sorry Austin there. I think Jeff Koffold can comfortably say domination in practice, domination in qualifying, and domination in the race so far. And he's got some black flag drivers slowly approaching. That's not ideal. See, both of these drivers did that arrow thingy. You look slightly at certain angles, you can see on the sim motion on the windscreen, it's got a triangle stuff. Don't think anything's going to happen between these two, but let's see. Aiden Gertz trying to make a move here on Jason Daly. Getting close. And Jason Daly's might be our biggest mover. No, Oliver Brooks is up 18 spots. But since he didn't qualify, he won't get that biggest mover. Jeff Hedges, I think, did qualify, and he's up 14, so I think that might be our biggest jump at the moment. 12. Wow, there's so many people with black flags. It is impressive. Jeff Hedges, 3/10 behind Peter Flanner, who's pretty much on a recovery race. Is he I think he just disconnected because he was gone. He just disappeared. Oh no. Austin McGill also pit and is now out. Who's that just parked it back there as well? It's battling Matthew Mercy, or sorry, Derek Doppler for a spot. Gets ahead. He didn't have enough fuel to the end. That must have been it. Because he was concerned, and he's dropped from the 1, 2, 3 for Valhalla, sabotaged by Valhalla. That's Jeff engaged, keep pushing with a 7.6 second gap to Jacob Simmons here, who's in third. Now he's going to inherit the last of the podiums for the pros, Thunder Thighs Racing. Hey, does nothing, goes up 2, and is going to finish on the podium, Jacob Simmons. Congratulations. Christopher Chitterling also in that mix with a P4, up 2. Issues from other areas. Derek Doppler had a bit of a whiffle here. Yep. Hey, he caught it though. He's back out there. He's down 5, but he's still leading the rookies at the moment. But Andrew Korosecki still keeping us with all 4 driver classes in the top 15. Andrew Korosecki now up to 13th. He's got Marshall Scary right behind him. Aiden Gertz dropped down a bit, but still doing positive for positions gained. It's a well-crafted race here for Andrew Korosecki, who's got Richard Swiderski 24th. Next guy in his lineup. And curious if it's going to run again, or we will see the end of the race shortly. Is this the white flag or the checkered flag? I don't see any flags. Is that not the right one? Yeah, it is. Alright. Forget it. Well, was an instance here where Joshua D was already ahead. Andrew Korosecki made it ahead. Wow. He's forced all those drivers back on that one. Elliott Burton has a black flag as well. He's kind of cooked, as you say. Yeah, with the countdown, 57 seconds. Yeah, we will go another lap. Maybe. I don't see a flag anywhere. He's not waving it. It's lap 23 of 23. He's standing up there. He's not waving it. It's unfortunate there for Elliott Burton, who's now going into the pits for that black flag. And he's going to drop down the order. He was having a great race. He was in the top 10. And just like that, Andrew Korsecki is now up into 11th with Joshua D. And Marshall Scary still behind. Derek Doppler in 14th. Gained one spot because of Elliott Burton having that black flag. Wonder if they fueled for this. Both wide. You'd assume so. Because they're having to go an extra lap. And this kind of looks like they're working together and that there's no fight to the end. He's just keeping things warm. And for season 18, round 1 here at Silverstone, Jeff Koffold will be our first pro winner. Across the line, a 1-2 for Valhalla. And that is it for those two. Jacob Simmons, a little bit ways to go. He is there for P3. Chris Chitterling in P4. Colin Pepper, a bit ways to go. As well as Andrew Simmons is going to finish P45 and P46, maybe. Those two are across the line. We'll see. Colin Pepper into 5th. Alex Zier into 6th. Nick Mazza into 7. Braden Daniels 8. Austin J. McGill in 9. Matthew Mercier in 10. Andrew Korsecki 11. Joshua D in 12, Marshall Scary 13, Derek Doppler 14, Jason Daly 15, Aiden Gertz 16, Christian Judkins 17, and Chris Lambert 18, Ben Laughter 19, Rodrigo Theory 20, Matt Benson 21, Tyler Kern 22, Richard Sweatersky 23, Dylan M. Thomas 24, as Forrest Holland is going to be 25 with Eric Koonsman 26, Elliott Burton 27, Joshua Jablonski 28, Andrew Frank 29, Joseph Schrock in 30, Craig Carroll 31, Reagan Chandler 32, and Ryan Chandler 33. If they can get this one done, that's a 32-33 for these two drivers. That's got to be good. Lars Tiles 34, Tom Smith 35, other teammates finishing 34 and 35. Mark Foley 36, decent recovery for him. And Scott Weber 37, Oliver Brooks still a little ways to go, 38 for him. Aaron Eckers, 39. Joe Ferraroni has 40, but he also has a black flag. He's going to drop from that one. Peter Flandern is going to inherit 40. I don't know where Joe is actually going to end up finishing this race because he had a black flag at the line. Jeff Hedges and Trent Scheckelman almost going side by side with this one. 42 for him and 43 for Trent Scheckelman. Brandon Langland's 44. Andrew Simmons did finish 45. Brian Zaborowski Jr. 46. Joe went to 44th. Jonathan Sclafani in 47. Joshua Justice 48. Theo Nolasco 49. Todd Buellmore 50. Terrell Carrington 51. Craig Reese 52. Mark Turek in 53. Seth Hansen 54. Nathan Hemperly 55. Andrew Fagan in 56. Charles Whedon 57. Prashant Jaron 58. And Daniel Haynes 59. Of that group, let me see if anyone's here. Oh, we do have some drivers. Congratulations, Jeff Koffold. That was a pretty calculated win there. Fantastic result in the pits. One question before everything else. Did Austin McGill underfuel?
Yeah, he underfueled. So I was wondering how he came out in front of us, and he was a lap short.
Yeah.
So that's how he was able to jump us in the pits.
Unfortunate for him because he dropped down, but he finished ninth, and it was going to be a Valhalla 1, 2, 3, even fourth for a little bit. But then Daniel Haynes had that incident. It's unfortunate for him. I think that was the loop, that slow section, that left-hander. Unfortunate for one of your sister teammates there, but congratulations on the 1-2 win. Is Gage your actual teammate for this season?
He is my actual teammate for the season, so good start for the team as well. So he
Absolutely.
the last 2 laps he was looking for a place to send, but thankfully I was where he's faster. It's really hard to pass, so that worked out well for me.
Okay, so he was trying to make a move. It just never was. The move was never on. But so I knew you guys were trying to give it a full scrap there. But so congratulations, great result. At any point when Austin got ahead of you guys, were you like talking to him like, what are you doing? Are you really gonna beat us at the end here? But then he did slow. Did he slow intentionally let you both by so that he
Uh,
could just get out of the way because he knew he was going to be able to fight anyway?
yeah, we kind of talked to him about how many laps of fuel he needed because I think he was just off by a lap. So
Oh,
we're like, hey man, you might want to. So I had a good run on, but then he was doing a lifting and trying to fuel save until he realized it was just better to pit. So
I see. I see. Okay, well. That's unfortunate for him. He had two unfortunate Valhalla scenarios there, but I mean, Matt Benson had a great end for himself as well. He finished 11 spots gained, 21 in total. But again, congratulations on the first win. I can't wait to see what Valhalla does for the rest of the season. It was pretty calculated.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, great job, fastest in practice, quali, and in the race. Thank you for joining me, Jeff.
Yep.
Alex here, congratulations, P6. Two
Yeah,
spots
thank
gained
you.
in the overall. But I mean, Matthew Mercier was giving you a run for the money after qualifying. He was right next to you. Actually, he was above you. So was it a shot at the launch of the race? There is how you got by him, or did something happen in that early couple laps that you were able to just stick it through?
Yeah, I think I got a better start than he did, and then I think he ended up falling back with a car between us. So I was able just to kind of pace it just right and keep him back there, and then just throughout the race, the gap just kind of slowly spread as they were racing back there.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell if you get one driver between two, and it was really either going to slow them up or start reeling in those gaps. But you managed to race well. I'm sure one of those was actually both of those were because I think Jablonski had a black flag for entering the pits unsafely,
Okay.
and then I think you might have been already ahead of Elliot Burton, but I'm not sure. But
Yeah, yep, I was.
so then it was
I
the
think.
second one was the crash out, which was Daniel Haynes. That was
Yep.
a couple laps in. So both you didn't really end up passing me, but hey, you still take
No,
those.
yeah,
P6.
definitely. Yeah, it's nice to. I almost had P5, but I added how many laps there were left, so I let I think it was Colin Peppers by.
Yeah.
And then we got down to the white flag, and I had 1.8 laps left. So even if it went another lap, I was gonna have to fuel save a bunch. So I'm good with 6. That's I think that might be one of my best finishes in the league. So pretty
I'm,
happy about that.
I mean, congratulations. Yeah, finishing top 10 is always going to be a great feeling, especially when the next guy was your P6. He's P10. He's, in class with you, but I mean, your next guy's
Yep.
P15. So you got some good haul of points because the overall matters more than the class win. Even though it is a class win, it's still great for the overall fight there. I can't wait to see what happens for the rest of this. Especially maybe you can now dominate the pro-ams.
Maybe it was kind of nice that they moved everybody that was faster than me up to pro. I
that they
appreciate
that
that.
they did that they did. There's a bunch of them that got promoted. Well, thank you for joining me, Alex, and congratulations on the win.
Yep, thank you.
Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining me. That was a wonderful, wonderful race. You can see just how different it all shapes up with the new classifications of drivers. The pros are really sitting up there in the 1 to P20 area. Yeah, there's some drivers outside of it, but mistakes happen. And then you start to see it's gold, purple, blue with a sprinkle into the reds all over the place, and that is just a great scenario there for the first race of the new season. Thank you all for joining me, and please tune in on Thursday for the Miata race. It's heat races, and I think round 2 is coming up. Same time as this. And thank you for joining me. Bye.